Hi guys, it's Isa. Today we're gonna see all of the books that have made me cry. And so, granted, I am a little bit emotional, so it's not surprise to anybody if I say
that I have a list of books that made me cry or sob or, just really made me enraged and it was like unacceptable.
and so this is the list of those books. We will start with the standalones, passing to the duologies, and ending in the trilogies. And we will start with the book that not only has a beautiful book cover, but it's really heartbreaking. And it's called Kingdom of Bag by Marilu. This is really a beautiful story, and it's not that really made me cry. It was just that it was so much pain. Like, it was really hard to see the main character move through the different situations that she needed to face. It follows the point of view of Nannerl Mozart, so the sister of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And so we see how she was also really talented, but because she is a woman, she needed to kind of like take a step back and kind of like see how her brother is famous. And so between the two, they create this fantastic kingdom, which is kind of like a way for them to manage the situations. And through this world, she will kind of process all of the emotions. And oh dear, are these emotions hard? Then we go to two books that are a little bit outside of the fantasy box, but that made me cry. The first one is A Man Called Ove, or Uwe. So sad. Like, just the premise, it's sad. For me, it was kind of like these tears that are kind of like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening. And at the same time, it's like, it tends to be humorous, it's very satiric, but at the same time, the topics that are being handled are a little bit hard. It's kind of like if Up from Pixar were a book. We will follow the story of this man that has lost his wife, and he just wants to be on his own. And then some noisy neighbors come and they start to try to involve Ove into every of their adventures. A heavy trigger warning here from suicide. It just, this kind of like the main theme that it's treated. Ove is depicted in such a way that I will forever have him. Like, it seems that he is someone from my life, really. Another book that I went into it fully knowing that it might make me cry, and yes, it did. It's the Song of Achilles. It's so beautiful, but it's so sad. Like, as you read it, or I am assuming majority of the people know how this will end, but at the same time, it's just that the feeling that you are approaching something that you cannot avoid, but that you really want to avoid. And that was the feeling that I've got. I tried to savor everything, and just savoring it made it so much worse, but so much beautiful at the same time. A sad read, but it's also kind of like a beautiful read. It talks about the story of Achilles, but told under the point of view of Patroclus. They had a relationship, and Patroclus is just so fascinated by Achilles. He is his sun, his moon, his stars, his life. And just seeing how he is kind of like this side character in the life of Achilles, and how he sees how Achilles is approaching the different situations and how he needs to face his destiny. I could literally pick any of the phrases, any of the paragraphs from the book, and share it with you guys, and it will still be beautiful. And then we come back to other standalones, still within fantasy, and this is a new release of this year, and it's called Gallant by B. Schwab. Didn't make me cry, but it was so heartbreaking. It reads almost as a middle grade, which for me made it so much worse. And it talks about this girl without family, and the only thing that she has is this diary of her mom. And she sees how her mom is started to lose her mind. And so that already made me, like, not pity her, but I was like, oh my god, she is tough. And upon that, she cannot speak, and she sees ghosts, and it's kind of creepy. It's kind of like dark. It doesn't leave you take a breath. It's not a story that you've never read, kind of like a fight between good and evil, and that's kind of like the gist of the story. But how she is doing that, and the situations that she passes, and how things unfold, that really made me uncomfortable. And then we have the winner of all the books that made me cry ever, which is Sword of Kaigen. This is one of my favorite books ever. I remember being kind of like just one day that I started to pick it up. I read kind of like half of the book the first day, and it was like 2 a.m. and I reached to these set of scenes and I started to cry and cry and cry. I couldn't see the pages, like I needed to put it down. I was overwhelmed by what was happening. Fantastic, really. The story revolves around this land where these people, the Kaiganese, they are kind of like the only ones that still fight, kind of like following the martial arts, and they are able to have elemental magic, and they are kind of like the only ones that can stop an invasion when it happened. Then we move to the duologies, and I actually just have one, which is Six of Crows. I wasn't expecting to be this emotional. I thought that this was gonna be a heist, this was gonna be kind of fun, kind of like a lot of banter, a lot of family found stuff, but it is realistic in a way. The way that it ends, it will take a place in your heart, it will rip a piece of your heart, and it will just put it in the pages, and once that the book is ended, part of your heart will be with this book and with these characters, and you won't recover it anymore. It is really bittersweet. It's a story that it's a heist. We will follow 6 different characters, different points of view, doing this amazing heist, and in this world, the Grishaverse, and the magic, it's the characters. I've always said it. And the relationship between the different characters, it's so sweet. At the same time, it's so sad, and you really want everyone to be happy. I will need to do some honorary mention here. I didn't include Strange the Dreamer here because I just mentioned in the video and I don't want to repeat a lot, but I also teared up a little bit with Strange the Dreamer. It's such a fantastic series. Please pick it up. And then we move to trilogies, and I'm not sure if this is typical, but I really, really cried with The Poppy War. It was such a blend of tears of sadness and tears of rage, but I cannot really explain. It isn't one of my favorite series, to be honest, and it's because of the rage that I feel and how I ended, right? Like all of the books that we've discussed up till this point, they're kind of like, yes, it make you cry, but it just, I didn't have as much as a bitter feeling as I had with The Poppy War. And in this trilogy, let me tell you, things are savage. War happened. There's a lot of trigger warnings. I hated the book for so long. And as time is passing by, I'm just realizing that it has a space in my heart. I really appreciate it as of now. It talks about this girl, Reen, that it's kind of like about to start in this martial school in which like she is to be trained very, very, very hard, and at some point this realm starts to be invaded, or there's some sort of war happening, and like these students are involved in this war from the beginning. She very early on discovers that she might have a connection with the Phoenix, and that as a result she might have powers, or a beginning of some powers. And that like the story unfolds from there. Then we have the Aurelian Cycle trilogy, which isn't concluded, but really Fireborn and Flamefall made me cry. Not because the situations are super, 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 super sad, but the sheer injustice of the things that happened, and how, like our main characters deserve the best. Emotionally broken for so long after reading this. It's a story about 2 characters, different backstories. Both of them will be orphaned as children. They are adults, and they are kind of like competing in a set of tournaments in order to see who gets kind of like the leadership of this dragon army that is coming back. It's very political, but it's subtle, it's elegant, it's fantastic. And we will conclude this list with Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. It's like watching your favorite TV series and seeing how things go from bad to not better, and then not better, and then somehow better, but you're left like,
why do I need a hack afterwards?
That's kind of like the feeling that I have with Mistborn. Completely hooked to the series from moment one. It's fantastic, but you'll see. You'll see. It talks about this world where the bad guy won and he has been ruling for like 100 years. And we start to see kind of like a revolution emerging. And so first book, it's kind of like a heist, but of course the stakes will go a little bit higher. The magic, it's the most thrilling thing that you'll see. Our main characters will be able to ingest metals, and due to that, they will have special powers in this very atmospheric, smoky setting. And well, that was it for today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what are the books that made you cry. I publish bookish content every Tuesday and Friday for you to enjoy, so if you want to stay tuned, you know what to do, and I really hope to see you soon in other videos. Happy reading! Bye!